Hey friends, we are starting a new book of the Bible. Isn't that awesome? We're getting through all the repetition, all the kings and all these things and all the downfalls, and it seems like a lot of like doing good, failing. They did what was right in their own eyes. So you're seeing like a lot of mistakes over and over and over that we've been listening to, right? Kind of gets repetitive. Like, does it? I feel like that's in your own life or my own life too. I do the same thing. It's like repetition over and over and over. And one day you're like, I just want to have some rebuilding. I just want to have some growth. And so I believe we're going to start on that in the next few chapters. So we're on the book of Ezra. So yay on us. This is a good thing. We're getting there. Not yay like anything great we've done, but we're getting through the Old Testament. I think a lot of you have said, I would have stopped. And I think the same thing. I would have stopped because how many times have I read and it's like, okay. But the Bible talks about being in the fellowship with the body of believers. And it's one of those things that, yes, you can love the Lord your God with all your heart on your own. You can do all those things. You can love God. It's not a sin not to fellowship and be out. But when you have a body of believers together, it just brings like that it's like the spirits unite. Like our Holy Spirits from the Lord unite. We can encourage one another. It just brings you up. It's a good thing. It's a great thing. So we're reading Ezra. So in my Bible here, it talks about Ezra. They said that the next, because we're going to read Ezra, the next one is Nehemiah. They said many scholars believe that those belong together as one. Together they tell parts of the same story. The exile is over, and the temple is going to be rebuilt along with the wall of Jerusalem despite considerable opposition. So Nehemiah, which we'll read after this one, his perspective is going to be of a civil servant and building contractor, but Ezra is a teacher of the law and a priest, and as such provides leadership by bringing God's word to the people and by restoring proper worship. So then when people respond to the word and reestablish the relationship with God through worship, the building process is renewed and completed. Don't you feel like that in your own life, right? When we are learned and we get our relationship with the Lord all lined up, worship him like we should be, it's like the building process starts to be restored in our own lives, right? That's what I love about this. So you can read it. Yeah, they're reading about a wall and a temple they're going to rebuild, and we're like, we don't rebuild walls, we don't rebuild temples, but we are in our own lives, right? We're rebuilding things in our own lives. So let's start in chapter 1, proclamation of Cyrus. Now in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, that is the first year he ruled in Babylon, in order to fulfill the word of the Lord by mouth of Jeremiah the prophet, the Lord stirred up, he put in motion the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia, so that he sent a proclamation throughout all his kingdom and also put it in writing, saying this. Thus says Cyrus, king of Persia, the Lord, the God of heaven, has given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and he has appointed me to build him a house at Jerusalem, which is in Judah. Whoever there is among you of all his people, may his God be with him. Let him go up to Jerusalem, which is in Judah, and rebuild the house of the Lord and the God of Israel. He is God who is in Jerusalem. In any place where a survivor, the Jewish exile, may live, let the men, the Gentiles of that place support him with silver and gold, with goods and cattle, together with freewill offerings for the house of God in Jerusalem. So the little notes here, it says the assistance that the Israelites were to receive from their non-Jewish neighbors, in here it says in rebuilding the temple, was similar to the help in an earlier generation received from the Egyptians before the Exodus. In a sense, the return to Jerusalem to rebuild the temple was a second Exodus. Little information there. Okay, holy articles are restored. Then the heads of the fathers' households of Judah and Benjamin, and the priests and the Levites, all those whose spirits God had stirred up, arose to go up and rebuild the house of the Lord, which is in Jerusalem. All those who were around them encouraged them with articles of silver, with gold, with goods, with cattle, with valuable things, in addition to all that was given as a free will offering. Also, King Cyrus spread out the articles of the house of the Lord, which Nebuchadnezzar had carried away from Jerusalem when he captured that city, and had put in the house of his gods. So, and it says, and Cyrus, king of Persia, had Mithredath, the treasurer, bring them out. And he counted them out to Shebazar, the governor, leader of Judah. And they counted 30 dishes, basins of gold, 1,000 dishes of silver, 29 duplicates, 30 gold bowls. So they brought a bunch of things. It says, and all the articles of gold and silver totaled 5,400. All these Sheshbazzar, the governor, brought up with the exiles who went from Babylon up to Jerusalem. So this is pretty interesting because King Nebuchadnezzar, right? He was not a good king, but he captured things that belonged in the house of the Lord. So isn't that pretty cool that God didn't stop him? God didn't stop him. He could have struck him down. He couldn't have done anything, but he kept them put away. Knowing this is all going to happen, and then look at, it was put away for safekeeping during that time, and now it's brought out for the rebuilding of the next temple here that they're going to be building. So kind of cool, like how that, like, even though it was brought up, was brought to, he was a heathen. He was a heathen. He was a heathen. He was worshiping his God, and he put God's things there, but they were there for safekeeping. And then look at, now they're going to be brought back into the house of the Lord. All hope is not lost. All hope is not lost in things. So, all right, come back tomorrow. We'll read the next book. See ya.